Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk PA Cage Fight 20, the Woodlands, February 28th. It's a 7 o'clock start. Joining us right now, Paul Matreselva. And, of course, we have a couple of fighters that are going to join us along the way here. And right now, Shorty Roc Santella joining us right now. Sean, for you, tell us a little about your fight coming up and how excited you are about heading over to the Woodlands for PA Cage Fight 20.
Oh, I'm very excited. It's been a while since I fought. I've had a lot of fights fall through within the last 8 or 9 months. So, I've just been ready to go. I feel like I've been in this forever training camp ever since last June. So it'll be nice to finally get in there and punch somebody in the face or, take somebody's arm home with me, and that's what I'm looking forward to doing.
He's not kidding, John. He really might take someone's arm home with him.
Sean, you're 13-4 as a pro, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a black belt. Tell us about your background and what you do out there.
Well, I have a high school wrestling background, and a couple of my friends, thought it'd be good to get into doing some jiu-jitsu. So, I started doing jiu-jitsu. I ended up breaking my arm the very first class and fell in love with it. And started training, 2 to 3 times a day, 5, 6 days a week. And I just, found a great team, great instructors, and the sky's been the limit pretty much. So I usually go in there and look for, any way possible to get the fight to the ground to my world, and then, either choke somebody unconscious, make them foam at the mouth, or have them limping out.
How do you break your arm and then love it, Sean? Tell us about that.
I don't know. I got this sick obsession with pain. I don't know. I go and I get tattoos, and that's like my therapy, like ink therapy. Some people go to a psychiatrist and talk about their problems. I go see my tattoo artist.
Paul Matreselva, for you, tell us about what you've seen with Shorty Roc Santella.
My God, first time I actually met Sean in person was at UFC on Fox Sports 2. This was in New Jersey. Where was it, Sean? East Rutherford? I think it was East Rutherford, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just Izod Center, yeah. And I knew he was a big up-and-comer. I think he was probably 12-2 or 12-3 at the time. And, I went to a bunch of his fights, and I just love his style. I saw him really make people foam at the mouth. He wasn't kidding. And, Sean and I have been talking back and forth, and I saw how many fights he had fall through. And he knows the PA Cage Fight label. We put a fight on, we make that fight happen. And, really he was the easiest guy in the world to match because he said, Paul, find me somebody at 125. I will take the fight. He gave me a list of some of the top-ranked guys, and he's like, if they'll take it, I'm in. So, we're more than excited to have Sean on PA Cage Fight 20. It's his first appearance under the PA Cage Fight brand, and he's in the co-main event fighting for the belt. I think he's got a very, very well-respected opponent, Jimmy Grant. Jimmy Grant's got some nice knockout wins, and he trains hard and fights hard. So I think the fans are really in for a treat with our co-main event.
Sean, for you, how much do you know about Jimmy Grant, and tell us about what you plan to do?
Well, I did a little bit of research. I try not to look too much into my opponent. I mean, I respect everybody, but I go in there with the same attitude. I'm going to fight every fight as if it was my last fight. He's from the Jersey circuit, so I know, he comes from a strong wrestling background, and, he does jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. Short, stocky kid. And, I'm just going to go out there and just impose my will on him and, make him break. I do that with everybody else. Everybody, says they're going to submit me and knock me out, and, that's what everybody says. And, when it comes down to it, when I pull them into my, to my area of the game, which is, the ground game, it's they don't know what to do. They're just lost,
Tell us about that nickname, Shorty Roc. How'd that come about?
Well, it started out as just Shorty being, short and all. And growing up, I have an older brother. I used to hang out with all his friends that were, 5 to 8 years older than me. So everybody's like, hey, Shorty, hey, Shorty. And then when I started fighting, my first instructor just added the Roc. Because I guess I'm solid. I would think that I'm just lanky, but it's hard to be lanky when you're only 5'5", so. And, it kind of just stuck. So I've had a bunch of nicknames go through. Now they start calling me the Pink Panther. So, but Shorty Roc stuck for a while.
Sean, for you, talk about the last couple of weeks of training before you get in the cage for PA Cage Fight 20. Tell us about how you're going to wind it up or wind it down, for that matter.
Well, pretty much it's just right now, my weight's good. You're not really going to get any better. You're not going to learn anything new within the last, week or so. You already been drilling your game plan for the last couple of weeks. Your diet's already in check. It's just a matter of getting the last couple pounds off and, just keeping the cardio up, and just kind of going through, pretty much like the game plan. I'm going to cut it down. I normally train 3 times a day, probably cut it down to like 2 or 1, but a lot lighter sessions. My last hard sparring session is Saturday, and I'll be down at Nick Catone's sparring with like Frankie Edgar and Cody Mooney and the guys down there from Almeida's. It's where a lot of my sparring partners come from. They get me ready and help me out with my game planning with Mark Henry and Don Ciaffi, Brian McLaughlin, and I got a great team behind me, and just really looking forward to getting in there.
Other than your team, talk about your following and the expectations you're going to see as people in your corner. How many people are going to be rooting for Shorty Roc?
Well, I got like a whole little community. I call them Shortyville. And those are the people that pretty much have followed me around from, all over New Jersey to all the way in Erie, Pennsylvania when I had my first couple fights, when I wasn't able to find fights in Jersey. And, I got a strong following. I sell a lot of tickets. And, everybody's very supportive. Even with the last couple fights falling through, the week of, the day of, people still want to see me fight. I'm an exciting fighter. And, I just think my style, gets people involved, and they always know I'm bringing it. I'm always looking for a finish. Doesn't matter what position I'm in. It doesn't matter if I'm down 4 rounds to none and going into the 5th and final round. I'm going to try to finish the fight. It's love me or hate me, but everybody's going to watch me.
Well, there are 4 pro fights and 10 amateur fights, 14 on the card for PA Cage Fight 20, February 28th at the Woodlands. Sean Shorty Roc Santella going to join us. And, Sean, we appreciate your time. We wish you well and looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, Paul Matreselva and Sean Shorty Roc Santella. PA Cage Fight 20 coming your way here on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.